films of 1988, the ones we remember most. And that conversation begins, and doesn't quite end, but certainly begins with Die Hard.
The best Christmas movie of all time.
Why?
Because it has a Christmas tree in the lobby at some point, and it says ho 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 on the guy that they kill.
And it captures the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, where it's murdering everybody.
Yeah. So what I love about Die Hard that doesn't get brought up quite often enough is that it's based on a book, which is funny because like Die Hard is kind of the opposite of books in a lot of ways. It's based on a book called. God, what's it called? I have it written down.
You have it written down.
We're going to
cheat.
No one lives
Nothing
forever.
lasts forever.
Nothing lasts
You're thinking
forever.
of a James Bond movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Despite
but
the
it was,
Die Hard franchise going forever.
It was a sequel to this book called The Detective, which was actually adapted into a movie in 1968 starring Frank Sinatra. He wasn't playing John McClane exactly. They definitely took some liberties there. But it's kind of weird to think that like these two sort of like pillars of like pop culture masculinity, like John McClane and Frank Sinatra, are kind of tied there. But it's definitely, we got a slightly different end product, you know. It's got a lot of F-bombs.
One says
broken glass.
Have you read this book?
No, I haven't. But it's just old. It came out in 1979.
I can't imagine like the novelization of Die Hard. I know it's the other way around, but like
He goes to a Christmas party. There's
talk
bad
about
guys.
an action-packed book.
I can't imagine Frank Sinatra saying "Yippee-ki-yay, mother effer." Maybe he'd sing it. I'm not sure. Easily one of the best action movies ever made. Certainly, it remains a gold standard, such that we actually force our new hires to watch it if they have not seen it.
I don't know how you get away with not seeing this because it's like it's on all the time. It's on everything. It's just they put it out. It's one of those movies. It's essentially
It's always
free.
on TNT.
Yeah, it's always on TV. It's just. I mean, I watched it a ton growing up. Like my mom is like she's like basically a Buddhist nun, and she likes Die Hard. Like she's like she's always like, oh, no guns, don't cuss. And look where I ended up. But you know, like. She was totally down with Die Hard. She was cool with that, you know. It's a great movie.
The best thing about Die Hard on TV too is the variety of creative ways that they change that phrase.
What's the one you remember? Because there was one that I remember from.
Well,
what I watched.
there's the most basic one where just you turn it to Mother Trucker, but that one just doesn't make any sense.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. That was the one I got on whatever channel that was.
Thank you, TBS.
Yeah.
It's definitely this movie, though, solidified him as an action star.
Yeah, he was really only known for comedy roles. He was on Moonlighting before this, almost like, you know, when Tim Burton cast Michael Keaton as Batman a year later. Like, Mr. Mom is Batman? That's weird. In both cases, it turned out amazingly well.
And now, for present day, we have like Liam Neeson with Taken, so definitely.
Yeah, or Chris Pratt, for instance. You know,
True.
Here's a comedic role. Here's somebody you don't expect, and people seem to like that.
Die Hard made $140 million total at the box office, which in 1988 dollars is huge.
It's respectable.
Ton of cash.
So amazing.
Co-starring Reginald Vell Johnson, who I remember, of course, from that time as the dad from Family Matters.
Carl.
Best cop ever.
Absolutely. Film holds up. Also, did you know Die Hard was nominated for 4 Academy Awards? Best Sound Editing, Film Editing, Sound Mixing, and Visual Effects.
There should be an
How
award
many
for
did
best
it
one-liners.
I do not know. Apparently none. Because otherwise, it would have my research would have said it won the following
And
awards.
we'd all be referring to it as the Academy Award winning film.
That's true.
Die Hard.
That is true. So July 15th, 1988 was its release date, and there was an isometric NES exclusive game released only in Japan.
Weird.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You ran around, you're John McClane. And there was another game.
Played the arcade game. The Die Hard arcade game.
Somebody who was writing the notes was like, there was a not very good first-person shooter that came out for PC and whenever, and I was like, yeah, there's also Die Hard Arcade, the trilogy, which did a weird thing where they adapted all the movies at once, and they made each version or each movie a different gameplay style.
Oh, that was the PS1 game.
The PS1 game.
Yeah, the arcade is kind of the isometric 3D beat 'em up.
Okay, which is what they sort of did for the first Die Hard in the PlayStation.
Yeah.
Game. And then the second one was like on-rails shooter.
On-rails shooter. And
the third one was
is you're driving the car around the city.
Crazy
just, like,
Taxi.
getting past-
Yeah.
With Samuel L. Jackson?
Yeah.
That's
You
all.
You know,
Amazing.
that's another thing is we talked about Super Mario 2 and how it was Doki Doki Panic. Die Hard with a Vengeance was totally not a Die Hard movie, and they just adapted it. They're like, what if this was John McClane in here? Which
It was really good, though.
that didn't come out for another 7 years, though.
Yeah, it took some time. Yeah, the PC game you were thinking of earlier was a first-person shooter that was not very good called Die Hard Nakatomi Plaza. Don't play it. Not advisable.